Morning, Lord, evening, Grace, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Welcome and a good Monday to you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did. This morning I got to New Hampshire, to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, to have breakfast with Senator Scott Brown, also former Ambassador Scott Brown. He joins me now from his home state of New Hampshire. Senator, good to see you this morning. At the very top, I want to say scottbrown.com, scottbrown.com, 2 T's in Scott Brown, because as we were discussing this morning, the map in 2026 is really very small. Republicans can pick up Democrat seats in New Hampshire, in Michigan, maybe Georgia. They have to defend 2, North Carolina and Maine. It all may come down to New Hampshire. You're going to be the nominee, so people can start contributing now. How's it feel this early on?
Well, it feels great. As we discussed this morning, a tremendous amount of energy. It feels respectfully like 2010 when I won after Senator Kennedy passed away. The energy's there. We're getting not only local but national support. I mean, Hugh, just think about it. If people donated $50, all your listeners, I mean, that would give us enough to basically pay for everything and jumpstart things amazingly well. But, I'm not... kind of like the Red Sox and the Yankees or the Patriots and the Falcons, it's not over till it's over. And I'm going to cross every T and dot every I.
Before I go into some issues unique to the Granite State, can I ask you about Epstein? I know I hate to ask people about Epstein. It's going to be the last day I talk about Epstein, but it's all they talked about online this weekend other than Hunter Biden a little bit. I think it's over, it's done, and I'm done with it. What do you think about it?
Well, I haven't paid too much attention to it. Respectfully, I'm out campaigning every day talking about real issues. And let's make no mistake, it's a 6-month anniversary right now, or 6 months into the presidency of President Trump, the second term. And he's on a hot streak. I mean, you look at what he did with Iran. You look what's happening, obviously, in gas prices, food prices. There's a whole host of things that he's doing, securing the border down to zero. And unless we all know that Epstein's a bad dude and he's better off, we're better off with him not on this planet. That being said, it's the folks that, called Russia, 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 that hoax. These people want to divide and conquer us. They want us to have infighting, but those people should not win. We should not give them any time of day because, this thing is over as far as I'm concerned. And I don't want those people dividing our party because there's so much more to focus on. I mean, look at the things that we have that we can still accomplish. We get all the criminal illegals out of here. We can continue to fight to make sure that men and boys don't hurt the girls and women when it comes to their sports. We can find a way to pay down our debt and our deficit. Those things are very, very important to me, and I want to make sure that I'm there to help.
I learned this morning, and I did not know this until today. We can call you Senator Brown. We can call you Ambassador Brown because you represented America for Donald Trump in New Zealand and American Samoa. But we can also call you Coach Brown. I want you to trot out your coaching chops a little bit because there are a lot of coaches who listen to this show, and I didn't know that until this morning.
Well, I love basketball. It basically saved my life. A lot of violence. Mom and dad married and divorced 4 times each. Mom was on welfare for safety net, an abuse survivor. If it wasn't for a good coach and a good teacher, I'd probably be in jail or dead. And so I'm blessed, and I've been able to teach not only my daughters. My daughter Ayla committed at 15 to Boston College, had an amazing career, and I got to play at Tufts, captain, always nationally ranked teams. But I want to pass it on, and so I'm coaching at a local high school, a girls varsity. And last year we made it to the playoffs and won a game, and I'm very excited about continuing that because there's a lot of amazing young women out there, athletes who are trying to make their mark. And the fact that we have Chris Pappas pushing to make sure that men and boys dramatically affect and crush their dreams is one of the reasons I'm running, and it's completely unacceptable, and I won't have it.
Yeah, I got to tell people, we had an off-the-record conversation this morning, so I'm not going to disclose anything I shouldn't. But I was pretty amused to learn that you were trying to sell me on the WNBA as watchable. I want people to know that you actually, because I'm not a WNBA fan, and you said, oh, Hugh, you got to watch the game. So a big WNBA fan as well as a sports fan. Unfortunately, he's a Celtics and Red Sox fan. We're going to have to forgive him for that. Senator, can we talk about Chris Pappas? After I left, I looked him up. He's not only a liberal, he's a leftist. He's also doesn't have much achievement other than going to Congress and doing nothing except voting against the one big beautiful bill. I hope you debate him a lot, but I don't know if he's going to agree to that. What do you think?
Well, I'll debate him on your show tomorrow. I've already made that pledge in local stations and radio stations. No, he doesn't want to debate me because he's wrong on virtually every issue. If you look at the big, beautiful bill, one of the big things here, and you referenced it the last time we spoke, is Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. There's a tremendous amount of money in that bill for naval shipyards to basically build our fleets and our submarines, and we need that money. He voted against that. He voted against the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, giving seniors a break. You know, he owns a restaurant. And imagine telling his employees he didn't support them and telling all those people that have in the Bluebird special, oh, by the way, I don't care that you can make more money and keep it in your pocket through Social Security. So there's so many things, aside from the largest tax increase, $4 trillion in our country's history. These are the things that he's against, and he wants to cherry pick and hide behind, SNAP and Medicaid. Respectfully, my mom was got those food benefits. I remember those blocks of cheese and powdered milk, and I want them to have it, but I want them to be able to work for it. You're for an able-bodied. The same with Medicaid. No different than Bill Clinton did with the Medicaid, and he reduced the rolls by 60% and got people back to work.
So, Senator, we did not discuss this morning, so I can bring it up with you. If we lose the Senate, Donald Trump will not get one judicial nominee. I believe this to be true. He will not get one judicial nominee through the Senate because they're going to do payback for the Scalia to Amy Coney Barrett seat, and Mitch McConnell saying no hearings, no votes. I absolutely believe we've got to hold the Senate. Are you bringing that urgency? Do your people in New Hampshire know how important their state's race is?
Well, they're getting to learn more and more, especially with North Carolina and Georgia potentially being up for grabs now. Those aren't definite. While they're being, they're in play, I believe this is a seat that is a shorter money seat in terms of, the dollars that potentially could go in here. But more importantly, you can actually go around to the state and meet everybody 2 or 3 times. It's really very, very important.
So, Senator, let's go then to the question of the one big beautiful bill. You would have voted for it. Chris Pappas voted against it. Did he use the Medicaid argument, which is bogus, but he might have used it? Is that his argument?
Oh yeah, they attacked me day one on that. Absolutely. And the SNAP benefits, we're going to reduce that. Listen, the food that the Department of Agriculture provides for our kids in those programs, it's full of sugar. We can do better. They can look at this program. It's been around forever, and it's administered through the state. I will absolutely work with Governor Ayotte to make sure that we get the food that our citizens need. But there's got to be a way to do it more efficiently and better. You can't just keep saying no, because listen, if we do that with Medicaid, if we do that with Social Security, if we do that with all the programs that people who need them deserve, it's not going to be there. So if you want
President Trump sent you to New Zealand and American Samoa. So I want to talk to you about China because I learned something. I learned there's a new country, a country I did not know about today. Would you tell people about that and what the Chinese Communist Party is up to?
Well, it's not. It's the independent state of Samoa, not American Samoa. 2 different countries, 2 different governments. American Samoa is part of America, and actually, it's a small country called Niue. It's Niue. Cook Islands has 90,000. Niue has 19,000 people who live there. By the police chief by day is the cab driver by night. That's how they make it work. But the one thing that they have that China absolutely wants is a UN vote, not only to gain obviously access in the UN, but all those subcommittees within the UN and all those committees around the world, they want those so they can basically undermine us. And so when we go into these areas, you see them with the One Belt, One Road program, they giving everything away. And if they can't repay them, we thought it was a loan. No, it's not. We want the money. Well, we'll take that port that we built in World War II. We'll take that airstrip that we built in World War II. And my job was to push back against them every single day. And Chris Pappas has no idea how to do that. None, zero, zilch.
Did the Kiwis get the Chinese threat? Are they aware as the Australians and the Japanese and the Philippines and Taiwan are?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, they have Winston Peters and the present government under Prime Minister Luxon. They get it. They were left of center with Ardern. Now they're right of center. And yeah, they pushed back pretty hard in their white papers and a whole host of other things. China doesn't like it because there's a major trade, obviously, from New Zealand with their kiwis and other things. but they're standing firm. That's why they're a good Five Eyes partner. They get into countries that we don't and have access and find out things respectfully that we can't. So yeah, it was an honor to serve President Trump in that capacity. It's something I'll never ever forget. And we did a damn good job doing trade deals, dealing with the Christchurch massacre, and a whole host of other things. It was a great experience.
I will keep having Senator Brown on once a month until about a month or 3 months before the election. Then he'll be on weekly. But I would like you to give to him right now, scottbrown.com. He will be the Republican nominee. We need him in the United States Senate, or we will never confirm another judge if it flips. Don't let it flip. The insurance policy is in New Hampshire. Let's win it early on the night of 2026. Send some support to Scott Brown at scottbrown.com. Scott Brown with two T's.com. I'll be right back.